Hey everybody, it's me, Buddy, and in this video we are going to be going over a few bossing strategies and tips. Now there are many different bosses in the game, but in this video we will only be covering Ganesha, Dark Bronya, and Wendy as they're the most common ones you'll encounter through Abyss. For each boss, I'll talk about their different attacks, what to look out for to evade their attacks, as well as going over which valkyries to use against them. Before we get started, I just wanted to apologize for the ridiculous and cringe-worthy names I'm about to come up with. I couldn't find any official names for the attacks that some of the bosses use, so I had to get creative. So getting right into it, we start with Ganesha. Ganesha himself is not a very difficult boss to deal with. He's got a very large body, making attacking him easy, and he attacks very slow, making evading his attacks just as easy. As far as I've seen, Ganesha has 6 different attacks. His headbutt, his body slam, his rolling charge, his rolling spin, his psychic howl, and his particle mouth cannon thing. Oh god. Now when fighting Ganesha, you may notice him doing some hopping. The number of hops usually tells you which attack he'll do. If he does 1 hop, he'll do his rolling spin, and if he does 2, he'll either do the charge, the body slam, or his howl. So in my opinion, because of the whole hopping mechanic, I think it makes his attacks very telegraphed and therefore easy to avoid. The only ones you need to be looking out for are his rolling attacks. The charge is near instant, so you have to get the timing right on that. And the spin can be deadly as long as you don't pin yourself against the wall. Next boss you'll encounter is Dark Bronya. Now I rate Dark Bronya similar to Ganesha, and that's because like Ganesha, Dark Bronya's attacks have a lot of wind up to them. It takes a very long time to come out, and I think that makes it very easy to dodge some of her attacks. The only thing that seems to throw people off is that Dark Bronya has a theme of becoming untargetable or hiding through her smokescreen and her stealth. Dark Bronya has 4 different attacks: her Buster Shot, her punches, her Cannon Barrage, and her grenades, as well as 2 CCs, her Blinding Stun, as well as her smokescreen, which makes her untargetable from ranged attacks. When starting the battle with Dark Bronya, she has 1 opening combo: 2 Buster Shots, a punch, into her flashbang, followed by her smokescreen, then ending her combo with her Cannon Barrage. Now if possible, you want to kill her before she finishes this combo, and the reason is because if she finishes the combo, she'll start doing her stealth attacks, and her stealth attacks can be very lengthy and time consuming, and they don't always provide a good opportunity for you to attack back while she's doing it. Her Cannon Barrage and Smokescreen attack are easy enough to avoid, but I see a lot of people getting tripped up over her stealth attacks. During this attack, she'll do one of 2 punches, a high punch and a low punch. If she appears in melee range, you have to wait about 1 second before dodging. And if she's floating above you, you have to pause for about 2 seconds before dodging. And for our final boss, we have Wendy. Now Wendy is actually one of my favorite bosses to fight. She's not this big wall of meat like Ganesha, and she doesn't have any gimmicky attacks like Bronya. And I just love her whole theme in her design. I think she looks great. Now Wendy has 6 different attacks: her tornadoes, her double shot, her melee attacks, her wind shuriken, her vacuum explosion thing, and her wind shot. And as we've been learning throughout the video, Wendy has a tell when she's going to do her attacks, and that is mainly through her dodge animations. If she does 1 dodge, she'll do her tornado, her double wind shot, or her wind shuriken. And if she dodges 3 times, she'll do her melee attack or her wind blast. Now I would say the attacks you need to look out for most are her wind shuriken and her vacuum explosion attack. To dodge her vacuum attack, watch how many times she flaps her wings. On the 3rd flap is when you should dodge. When dodging wind shuriken, there's about a 2-second delay in between each attack. Try counting in your head to learn the timing for each attack. In this last section of the video, I'm going to quickly go over good valkyries to use for each boss and what their advantages are. Starting with good supporting characters, I'm going to recommend you pick up Divine Prayer and Yamabuki Armor. And if you were lucky enough to get her, unlike me, Dimensional Break can also be a very excellent supporting character. Now the main advantage of using these characters as support is their ability to time lock or time fracture enemy bosses. Slowing down the enemy boss can be useful in letting your main DPS come in and deal damage safely. For main damage dealers, I would suggest an elemental type Valkyrie such as Goshinso Memento and Blood Rose Himiko, since they are elemental Valkyries and will be able to deal large amounts of damage through shields. Since both of those Valkyries are the rare and hard to obtain natural S rank Valkyries, some A rank Valkyries that you can use are Shadow Dash Mei, Valkyrie Triumph or Scarlet Fusion Himiko, and Gyakushin Miko Sakura. So when fighting Ganesha and Dark Bronya, I would suggest you use Memento, Valkyrie Triumph, Scarlet Fusion, or Blood Rose Himiko. These characters work best against these bosses because both Ganesha and Dark Bronya have 2 hitboxes. Ganesha has a hitbox for his upper body and his lower body, while Dark Bronya has a hitbox for her main body and Project Bunny. These characters have a wide attack range, allowing their attacks to hit both of the hitboxes on Ganesha and Dark Bronya, essentially letting them deal double damage. As for Wendy, I would suggest you use Shadow Dash Mei or Gyakushin Miko Sakura. Shadow Dash is good against Wendy because her shadow clones will distract her, as well as absorb damage, allowing you to deal damage safely back to Wendy. Miko can be used against Wendy as well, as her attacks provide a lot of mobility and she has a high shield break with her blade back combo. She also gets a few invincibility frames while doing her blade back combo. So this is the end of the video, guys. I hoped you learned something new. I know some of this was like general information, but I thought that you might learn some new boss mechanics or movesets that'll help you later in the future. And I wanted to apologize for the poor audio, and I don't really have like the best equipment, just my headphones. So I did what I could with what I had. I appreciate you guys for making it to the end of the video. If you have any more suggestions for other players, leave a comment and let them know. Bye.